Season training. But despite the heat at the Maiden Castle ground in Durham, the players were in optimistic mood. After a couple of months off, it called for a nice, gentle return to work today as Sunderland began the serious business of preparing for life in the First Division. At the end of last season, these players had resigned themselves to another in the Second. But the relegation of Swindon, who'd beaten Sunderland in the playoff finals, meant promotion and the prospect of star teams like Liverpool and Tottenham at Roker Park. There are two main additions to the squad. Middlesbrough's Peter Davenport signed yesterday, and defender Kevin Ball, bought from Portsmouth. They were both training for the first time with their new teammates. Manager Dennis Smith is having to work to a tight budget as he prepares for the season, but he admits he's raring to go.
Oh, I mean, there's a tremendous amount of excitement within the club and outside the club. We know we've got a big task on because we went up possibly in strange circumstances, and people are wondering whether we're good enough. We're going to go out there and prove that we are good enough. I mean, I've got a lot of young players who are going to surprise a lot of people in the First Division.
And the World Cup as well this summer must have whetted everybody's appetite for the sort of players that are going to be coming to Roker. I mean, Paul Gascoigne for a start, second game of the season.
Yeah, it's super. I mean, if you look at the way that England equipped themselves, especially in the later parts of the World Cup, we brought forward some world stars, and that's going to whet everybody's appetite. It's whetting the players' appetite to play against and to test themselves against some of the best players in the world. And for people on Weir side to be able to come along and watch, that's superb. I mean, it's been a long time since they've had that opportunity. I think it's 5 years since they drifted out the First Division. Hopefully we stay in a lot longer.
Big three.
Them off before they've kicked a ball in anger. But manager Dennis Smith, a former First Division player himself, is hungry for success on his return to the top flight.
The start of a season at any level is very exciting. When you know that you're going into the First Division after a very successful World Cup and all the names that have been brought forward by it, and you're going in there and competing against them, yeah, it's extremely exciting.
Smith believes Division 1 will act as the perfect stage to bring on some of his promising youngsters. 21-year-old Gary Hours, for example, is a product of the club's youth system. He should flourish in midfield. Peter Davenport, bought close season from Middlesbrough, gets another chance in the big time. He'll act as a foil for the striking talents of Marco Gabbiadini, the player who could set the First Division alight with his pace. But he's under no illusions about how difficult it'll be to maintain his goal-scoring record.
I think maybe we'll get a few less chances. We'll still probably create them, but maybe not as many. So I'll have to try and maybe be a bit more, take more of the chances than I've done in the past.
And what about 34-year-old John MacPhail? After 16 years in the lower divisions, he's set to make his First Division debut.
Well, when you reach 30, 31, 32, you think, well, it's going to drift away kind of thing, you know, but I never give up hope. I've started from the second, I went to the third and to the fourth, and I've climbed my way up again from the fourth, third, second, and now to the First Division. So I'm really looking forward to it.